Yeah, so definitely a fun, wild story for sure that kind of kicked this whole CG party off 12 years ago. So this was 2008. It was the day of our wedding, and my bridesmaids ran up to me, and it was my sister, who was my maid of honor. And she said, "Hey, Allie, do you want to do one last crazy thing before your wedding?" And this was hours before the wedding. And I said, yeah, duh. What do you have in mind? And she said, well, American Gladiators is having tryouts just down the street from your church. We should go to the tryout hours before the wedding. And I was like, this is an awesome idea. Let's do it. So it was kind of a runaway bride type situation. We went missing for several hours before the wedding. Nobody knew where we went. And it was myself and all my bridesmaids. They were cheering me on. By the time we got to the tryouts, though, there were about 2,000 people in line. And it was probably about a 20-hour line that we were going to have to wait in. And so we had to think of something. So we threw on my veil and my garter, and we ran up to the front of the line, and we begged the producers to let me cut. And of course, everybody thought we were lying, but I'm like, no, I'm supposed to get married in just a couple hours. I need to cut this line. And so luckily they let me do the tryouts. I did really well. And when we went on the honeymoon, Jeff was like, oh, you better go work out. You're going to get called to be on that show. Of course, we both thought it was just going to be a joke and a fun story to tell one day. But the day we got back from our honeymoon, Hollywood called and said, hey, we want you to come up here for 6 weeks to be on this show and film the show. So I got selected for the show and was very fortunate that I went on to win the whole thing. And that's obviously a big part of our story.